Disaster.
И нашел одну интересную игру. Насколько понял, мне все плохо становится. Ну, бомба немножко. То есть мы сейчас просто, ну, немножко. Сделаем. Назад. Ага. Ладно, ладно. Какое здесь управление? 50 это 45 даже. Вау. Вау. Сложно. Так, это понять. Да. Все. Продвижение. Блин. Давай. Что сейчас делать? Само что придет? Сам придешь, не знаю.
There's no feeling more intense than starting over.
Более напряженного.
If you deleted your homework the day before it was due,
as I have,
or if you left your wallet at home and you have to go back after spending an hour in the computer. If you won some money at the casino and they put all your winnings on red when it came up black. If you got your best shirt dry cleaned before a wedding and then immediately dropped food on it. If you won an argument with a friend and then later discovered that they just returned to their original view. Starting over is harder than starting up. If you're not ready for that, like if you've already had a bad day, then what you're about to go through might be too much. Feel free to go away and come back. I'll be here. Alright, thanks for coming with me on this trip. I'll understand if you have to take a break at any point. Just find a safe place to stop and quit the game. Don't worry, I'll save your progress, always. Even your mistakes. This game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002, titled Sexy Hiking. The author of that game was Jazuo, a mysterious Czech designer who was known at the time as the father of B games. And B games are rough assemblages of found objects. Designers slap them together very quickly and freely, and they're often too rough and unfriendly to gain much of a following. They're built more for the joy of building them than as polished products. In a certain way, Sexy Hiking is the perfect embodiment of a B game. It's built almost entirely out of found and recycled parts, and it's one of the most unusual and unfriendly games of its time. In it, your task is simply to drag yourself up a mountain with a hammer. That act of climbing, in the digital world or in real life, has certain essential properties that give the game its flavor. No amount of forward progress is guaranteed. Some cliffs are too sheer or too slippery. And the player is constantly, unremittingly in danger of falling and losing everything. Anyway, when you start Sexy Hiking, you're standing next to this dead tree that blocks the way to the entire rest of the game. It might take you an hour to get over that tree. A lot of people never got past it. You prod and you poke at it, exploring the limits of your reach and your strength, trying to find a way up and over. And there's a sense of truth in that lack of compromise. Most obstacles in video game worlds are fake. You can be completely confident in your ability to get through them once you have the correct method or the correct equipment or just by spending enough time. In that sense, every pixelated obstacle in Sexy Hiking is real. The obstacles in Sexy Hiking are unyielding, and that makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazuo intended to make a frustrating game. The frustration is just essential to the act of climbing, and it's authentic to the process of building a game about climbing. A funny thing happened to me as I was building this mountain. I'd have an idea for a new obstacle, and I'd build it, test it, and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard. But I couldn't bring myself to make it easier. It already felt like my inability to get past a new obstacle was my fault as a player rather than as a builder. Imaginary mountains build themselves from our efforts to climb them. And it's our repeated attempts to reach the summit that turns those mountains into something real.
Держись. Блин. Держись. Держись. Тихо, что-то. Двигаемся, двигаемся.
When you're building a video game world, you're building with ideas. And that can be like working with quickset cement. You mold your ideas into a certain shape that can be played with. And in the process of playing with them, they begin to harden and set until they're immutable, like rock. And at that point, you can't change the world. Not without breaking it into pieces and starting fresh with new ideas. For years now, people have been predicting that games would soon be made out of prefabricated objects, bought in a store and assembled into a world. And for the most part, that hasn't happened, because the objects in the stores are trash. I don't mean they look bad or that they're badly made, although a lot of them are. I mean they're trash in the way that food becomes trash as soon as you put it in the sink. Things are made to be consumed and used in a certain context, and once the moment is gone, they transform into garbage. In the context of technology, those moments pass by in seconds.
Погнали, говорю. Колоти этот ящик такой. Нельзя нам дали кувалду.
Over time, we've poured more and more refuse into this vast digital landfill that we call the internet. It now vastly outnumbers and outweighs the things that are fresh and untainted and unused. When everything around us is cultural trash, trash becomes the new medium, the lingua franca of the digital age. And you can build culture out of trash, but only trash culture. B games, B movies, B music, B philosophy.
Поднялся обратно. Вот 100 разов 10 больше брать. Да яма. Дальше копаем. Копайся. Иди сюда, я сейчас за тебя. Иди сюда. Что-то как-то... Знаешь, что мне не нравится? Баба-ягу в ступе. Так же летает постоянно. Бей этот ящик. Реактор режима. Наше спасение. Так, как это сделать? Спустись хотя бы. Спустись.
Maybe this is what digital culture is. A monstrous mountain of trash, the ash heap of creativity's fountain. A landfill with everything we ever thought of in it. Grand, infinite, and unsorted.
Easy.
There's 3D models of breakfast, Gen X's fanfic novels, Scan magazines, green screen Shia LaBeouf, banned snuff scenes on Live League. Facebook's got lifelike bots with unbranded adverts and candid shots of Kanye and Taylor Swift mashups, car crash epic failed GIFs, Russian dashcam vids, discussions of McRibs, discarded, forgotten, unrecycled, muddled, rotten, untitled. Everything's fresh for about 6 seconds, until some newer thing beckons, and we hit refresh. And there's years of persevering disappearing into the pile, out of style, out of sight.
Так, я пройду обратно. Я там еще кинул выступил.
Oh, you just lost a lot of progress.
Иди нафиг.
That's a deep
Сейчас ты потеряешь
frustration, a
нас.
real punch in the gut.
Дезморализм. Осторожно, здесь.
Oof, sorry about that.
Погнали обратно. Не победился. Я знаю, что это все назад. Ну, блин, это очень делать. Дай. Ты следишь, да? Ну как такое? Чего на потолке сидит? Следить все равно не должен.
Oh, it happened again. Keep on trying, don't let it get
Оставайся
to
на
you.
вот это учиться. Второй раз играть. Что происходит? Вау. Не тормози, чугунок, котелок. Я... Дровосек.
This thing that we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down.
Я хотел провал. Провал в голове будет. У меня уже есть. Как провал другой. Давай вернусь. Хотел себе хоть что-то, да? А, нет. Нет, это мышка. Уехала. Чуть не со стола. Значит, с рукой. Пойдем. Да, полетели обратно.
Get nasty over there, boy. Going down the road feeling bad. I'm going down the road feeling bad.
Да, я что происходит.
Going down
Так,
the
знаешь,
road
не управлять
feeling
точно.
bad. And I ain't going to be treated this way.
Так. И нормально. А, если мы уже неправильно. Как так скачать, так не могу.
Down in the jail on my knees. I'm down in jail on my knees. Down in jail on my knees. And I ain't going to
Скоро Новый год. Даже сделай подарок, а? Запрыгни туда. Не тормози. Запрыгивай сюда. Полетел. Полетел. Да. Держи за бочки. Опустись. Боюсь. Что-то не так случилось, я подставился. Как что происходит с тобой, а? Ничего ж нет, да? Я же бомбанялся. Пиу, пиу, пиу. За дверь возьми, схвати туда, высоко уже, ага.
The soul would have no rainbow, had the eyes no tears. John Vance Cheney.
Я хитрый.
The pain I feel now is the happiness I had before. That's the deal. C.S. Lewis. I feel within me a peace above all earthly dignities, a still and quiet conscience. William Shakespeare.
Кто там сражается, кто не пьет чай. Сколько времени? Да. Так, вернулся. Нет. Подъезжаем, пожалуйста. Держи. Вот закрылся. Все. Давайте еще немного надо посражаться с этим демоном видеоигр. Блин, мало. Еще раз повернусь, это самое интересное. Да, аккуратно. Давай, у меня 5 месяцев нет, не положил, зачем ты еще? Денег просил. Держись. Почему оттуда, это понятно? Нет. Не выручаю.
You cannot now believe that you will ever feel better. But this is not true. You're sure to be happy again. And knowing this, truly believing it, will make you less miserable now. Abraham Lincoln.
А, это машина? Серьезно? Я даже не понял. Или это камень такой? Вот это. Пошло на все. Ладно. Всем спасибо за просмотр. С вами был мужик с молотком. Netflix. Да, он реально похож на бабу. Это косплей. Точно, это косплей. Он просто ищет метлу ее, видимо. Ладно. Возможно будет продолжение, возможно нет. Так что, до свидания.